Welcome to the NWI.com Political Roundtable for Thursday, May the 5th. I'm Robert Blaszkiewicz, Assistant Managing Editor of the Times, here with Doug Ross, Editorial Page Editor of the Times, and Times columnist Mark Kiesling. Lots to talk about this week. Just hours ago, in fact, former East Chicago Mayor George Pabey sentenced to 5 years prison, fined $60,000. Quite the harsh sentence from federal Judge James Moody.
Well, absolutely. He's sick and tired of corruption, and it shows. He's taken some pretty harsh stands before, but it's got to be done. And we should point out that former Mayor Pabey was convicted of essentially using city resources, money and workers and so forth, to remodel a house that he and his daughter had purchased in Miller. Probably not the smartest thing to do was having a truck with a city seal out front while the work was going on.
Right, but not necessarily the worst thing that's happened in terms of public corruption, right, Mark?
Well, certainly not in East Chicago, and I think you've seen now Judge Moody has historically been harsh on public corruption. He's a tough judge anyhow, but one of his pet peeves, if you will, is public corruption, and I don't think it should surprise anyone to see this type of sentence handed down by Judge Moody.
Okay, George Pabey is scheduled to report to federal prison in Oxford, Wisconsin on June the 1st, pending any appeal, of course.
Right, and we should point out that this comes in the midst of a big push on ethics in government. There was a gathering March 11th, if I remember right, where Andy Shaw was there from the Better Government Association. He's trying to see if there's enough interest to start essentially a chapter in Northwest Indiana. Greg Zeller from the Attorney General's office was there. There were a number of people speaking, and it looks like the Shared Ethics Advisory Commission, which kind of gives guidance to government officials and employees on how to behave and so forth. It sounds kind of silly, but it is good advice because it's real world scenarios that gives them a lot of decent advice on how to handle themselves in different situations. It looks like they might be getting some new members, including East Chicago possibly.
Yeah.
Well, what's also interesting about having the Attorney General on board is that our previous Attorney General, Steve Carter, had started a kind of a Elliot Ness-like cleanup in East Chicago, and when he was succeeded by Greg Zeller, Zeller, instead of putting it on the back burner, has opted to go full speed ahead with the investigations in East Chicago, and has opened up some of his own. It looks like it's no longer going to be business as usual over there. So those are not necessarily criminal actions, but they also hit him where it hurts when they hit him in the pocketbook. So, which is where they're going with the civil forfeiture actions. Mm-hmm.